Yo, what is up, dudes? It is Brian this time on the mic, and we're gonna go through week 6 look at stuff. Just to let y'all know, I'm having a lot of issues trying to get stuff to work, so it's gonna be ratchet as fuck. Alright, so let's go on right now and check out week 6's scoreboard. Alright, so we had Jesse versus Brian. Jesse couldn't hang with the master. So he is falling down to 3-3. I stay at 6-0, and then you have Rise of the Brown Puma versus Gin and Tonic. That's a bad pun. My vote is that is changed soon. But Randy pulls it out, beat Keaton. Now they're both 3-3, and pretty much is the story of our league. There's a lot of 3-3 teams. Then you got Oscar versus Natish. Natish gets his first win of the season. This is huge because Tish typically dominates everybody, and he literally talks shit by not saying a damn word. But he beats Oscar. Oscar has now been beaten twice, once by an all-defeated Tish and once by a Randy. Then you got Paul versus Kit. Kit, reigning champion. Paul couldn't hang with him. Drops to 2-4. You got Baby Driver, and you got Dirty Little Punts. Nathan, all the way in Barcelona, takes care of business against his Atlanta brother, Qasim, with a 7-point win. And then finally you got Kamehameha! Hopefully Eric loses, so he has to do that in the loser video. But he just dominates Nishad. Nishad might be the unluckiest person of the season. He actually doesn't have the worst team in the world. I think that might be Oscar, but he just keeps losing. I mean, 108 points is the second most points of the league. Too bad he had to play the first most points. But speaking of how terrible people are, let's look at some power rankings. This is not my own doing. This is something I found on Reddit. I just plugged in some numbers. So it goes by a bunch of different factors, but here you go. We got performance-enhancing hugs. That's me, yours truly. Ranked number 1 with a record of 6-0. There's also overall wins, which is kind of like if everybody played everybody the whole season, this is what it would turn out to be. You have... what the fuck is this? This is consistency rankings. So played a pretty heavy role. You can kind of see everybody kind of ranked with how they are doing consistently. I kind of had to bullshit some of these numbers for the input just because I didn't have the values for the whole season. I just kind of did it on week 6, but that's all right. There's also points per game, which pretty much follow suit with the rankings, and then the rest of season roster. Eric's got a pretty badass roster, and I think Qasim just felt like making Eric a little better, so decided to give him some top talent for some talent, one way or the other. And so Eric's really pushing it over the edge. But right now you got me, number 1, Eric at number 2, Jesse number 3, Kit at a strong number 4, Nathan at number 5, and Oscar, although he's 4-2, stands at number 6, and I guess that's kind of because of the rest of season roster is so low. Apparently everyone thinks Oscar is just getting lucky. But he's right there with Keaton, who also seemed to lose to Randy this week. So that's 2 people Randy's beaten, Oscar and Keaton. Actually, I think he might have beaten someone else too, but we typically forget people's names if Randy beats them. So, yeah, that's on you guys. That's not on me. Then when you got Qasim at strong number 8, Randy at number 9, only dominating Paul Evans with the worst team name in the world. Possible better team names, Paul. Maybe Team Paul, perhaps? Who knows? Then you got, Stairway to Evans. Off the top of my dome just there. But that also kind of sucks, so I'll let you try to figure it out. Baby Got Dak is a close second in worst team names, but that's okay because he's just bad at everything. And then you got Pimpin' Ain't Breezy. and that's Tish, who is just a surprising last place, but he's really showed some life this week by dominating against Oscar. Just couldn't handle it. Okay, enough with my very shitty recap. Now we're going to get to the interview everybody's waiting for. Time to interview the commish. Jump cut! Cool. Well, I am going to be interviewing the commish this time, Eric Vargas, Mr. Kamehameha. I like the Saints. I like the Saints reference. And you played Nishad this week, who is just a terrible human being, just in general, in football.
It felt pretty good. It felt pretty good to actually beat Nishad and just shut anything down.
So he had the second most points scored this week, but you had the most. So you definitely put the smack down on him. 114.5 to 108. Were you nervous at all?
100% nervous.
What?
I was definitely supposed to lose this matchup. At the end of Sunday night, I think Nishad was up like 1 or 2 points. And we each had one player on Monday night. So he was up 1 or 2 points, and he had DeMarco Murray, and I had the Tennessee kicker. So I was like, oh, this is done. I was like, unless DeMarco Murray gets injured and like doesn't have any points and the kicker goes crazy, and he had the Ravens defense put up 22 points. So I was like, this is just, I was like, and I saw the scores, like we were going to be the 2 highest scoring teams this week. And I was like, mother effer, like seriously. I was like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna lose this matchup. I'm gonna have over 100 points, and I will have beaten every single team in the league except for Nishad, who I happen to match up against, and he's fucking 1-4. I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm never gonna hear the end of this. And then Monday night happens, and freaking Ryan effing Suckup comes
the best kicker of all time,
comes in 21 points and clutches me the win. I'm so. I mean, and the other thing is, I don't watch the Monday night games. I go to bed early because I wake up at like 3:45 my time.
Yeah, I noticed you weren't on the chats, and I was like, this isn't nearly as fun.
I don't watch the games. I can't watch the Monday night game or even the Sunday night game because I wake up so early. So I didn't see the score until the morning after. And then I was like, I lost this, whatever. And then I wake up Tuesday morning and I see it. I was like, yes, let's go! I was so freaking excited. Ryan freaking Suckup. So suck on that, DeMarco Murray.
Suck up on that. But yeah, DeMarco actually had a pretty good game, 14.7 points. Yeah, Ryan Suckup definitely put down 21 points, so that was helpful. But I actually was talking shit during the day because both you and Nishad had defenses that were like 2 points during the day. I think Lions were negative, and I'm not going to even pretend I was unable to watch any football games this weekend, especially the Saints game, and I just heard how ridiculous that game was.
Yeah.
And apparently Lions got you 16 points.
Yeah, that was also one thing I was really concerned about because as soon as I saw the scores coming in Sunday, it's like the Lions were down like 40-6, and I was like, I like -6 points for the defense. I was like, mother effing, I think the #1 defense in fantasy. The 1 week, I'm just like, I'm not gonna. The entire season, I've been like trying to rotate defenses for matchups, and the last 2 weeks, I've had negative points. So I was like, you know what, F it. I have the #1 defense in fantasy. I know it's the Saints. I'm just gonna play it. Screw the matchups. I'm just gonna play it. And they have -6. I'm just like, I'm never going to win with defenses this year. It's complete garbage. And then, like, in the second half, they come in with, like, 2 picks, a pick 6, a fumble recovery, like, all this other shit. Finished with 16 points. That was another 2 huge saving graces, my defense and my kicker. So, thank God for that. I'm just rolling with the Lions the rest of the season. You know, F it.
Okay. Well, let's see how that turns out. I was actually talking shit to you about the defense, and then my defense totally shat the bed because the goddamn Miami Dolphins. What happened in that game? Did you even watch that game?
I watched the Dolphins. It's like torture on purpose watching the Dolphins. I punted on this season as soon as Tannehill got injured. And then I punted again when we signed Jay Cutler because I think we should have started. I think Matt Moore should be starting for the team. I don't think we should have ever signed Jay Cutler. We gave him $10 million to do nothing. It's complete trash. We should have been playing Matt Moore. We should be playing Matt Moore. But I punted on the Dolphins season when Tannehill got injured. And now Devontae Parker's in and out. Jay Ajayi doesn't look great, even though he did have a good game. I just don't. I don't even know what to think about the Dolphins anymore, man. It's like this season is. What are we supposed to go for? Like, what are we playing for? I say just tank it and tank it for a draft pick. Just tank it for a draft pick. Just F it. I don't care, man. Just tank it for a draft pick. Let me see good stuff out of Devontae. You know, keep him healthy. You know, throw in Jarvis, keep him happy so he doesn't leave. to the Patriots next year and like I don't know, see like work the offensive line. I don't even know, man. The Dolphins are sad.
Your offensive line coordinator, from what I read with all the news, was he also the play caller or something like that?
He is the offensive line coach and the run game coordinator.
Okay.
So it's like a step below offensive coordinator. And he's just, just skiing in Miami, just taking lines off a table before a meeting, like the legend that he is. Apparently, the dude was like 60. He was making like $2 or $3 million a year as that coach, and he's just snoring lines, just no big deal. Because F it and videotape it and send it to somebody because that's a thing that happens.
He sent it to a football player.
Yeah, because it's freaking Miami, and if you're not on acid eating someone's face, you're doing lines off a table before you go to a football meeting. Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, it sounds fun. I wish I was in Miami.
It's a mess, man.
Well, Miami kind of screwed me, but I think I am running with them as my defense of this week. So we'll see. As I play Nishad, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're 6-0, man. I don't want to see Nishad win.
But you don't like that?
I kind of appreciate the hat, though, so I kind of want to see you go 7-0 just to keep Nishad down there. I think it's worth it having another week of you undefeated. Also, because I don't know when I play you, but I like to beat you. But
we already played. I don't think we play again because I was terrified of that matchup.
Oh man, okay, that makes me sad. I don't remember that.
So maybe the playoffs.
Yeah, probably the playoffs. I'm number 2 in the league right now. Oscar and I are tied at 4-2. We play each other this week, but I have more points scored. So even though he's first in the other division, I am higher in the standings because I have more points for. So hopefully I can take him down this week and shut that mouth up. He's talking shit about me getting my trade through with Cossum, so he can suck.
I was going to ask you about that. You want to talk about that trade real quick, and then we'll get back. Well, which one do you want to talk about first? Trade or Oscar sucks?
I could do both of this. I'll do Oscar sucks, and then we'll talk about the trade while Oscar sucks. I mean, it's fine. Oscar's fluky as far as I'm concerned. He's getting lucky with people scoring super low points against him. Like, he only has 414 points against. That is literally the lowest in the league. I'm looking at it right now. 414.6 points against. That's lowest by over 20 points. Randy's at 436, and then Kit's at 475. So he's by far the lowest points against. He has decent points for. All right, he's 545. That's decent. That would be the middle of the East. In our division, that'd be the middle of the pack. But in his division, it's the best.
He's
and
not doing too well.
The lowest
he's 84 points per game.
Yeah, it's garbage. So I'm coming for him this week. I'm going to put the points up. He better fucking perform. You better fucking perform. You're not getting the lowest points against this week, Oscar. I'm coming in for the fucking SmackDown. I'm taking that number 2 spot overall. Coming for you. I'm coming for you, Brian. I'm coming for that hat.
But playoffs, baby.
And
playoff push. And you can get there.
I feel really confident with my team, especially with the trade that just went through. Finally punting on Isaiah. I put a lot of stock in Isaiah Crowell this season just because I thought he was going to get so much work in Cleveland, but he hasn't done shit.
Well, they're all behind. It's hard to have a running back for such a shit team.
Well,
so
that's why I'm happy I have Duke Johnson Jr. as well, because he's the backup running back, but he's also their best wide receiver. And so since they're always down, he's getting a bunch of catches. If this was a PPR league, he'd be a top 5 running back probably, but it's not PPR, but he's still 12th overall. But I managed to flip Isaiah Crowell and the tight end Hunter Henry, and I just gave up on Jermaine Kearse, who's a top 20 wide receiver, upgraded to Zach Ertz, and got Pierre Garçon just as wide receiver insurance. Garçon won't even start for me unless Antonio Brown or Keenan Allen are on a bye week. But so that's just bye week fill and a solid tight end to get me through. But I'm pretty confident in the rest of my team. Tom Brady, Kareem Hunt, they're all doing. The wide receivers are fine. Alvin Kamara, come on, he's coming to save me now that AP's in Arizona. He's a solid RB2 flex play.
Yep, he might be number 1 one day, even this year.
Yeah,
but
and I actually have a lot of stock in Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry is about this week away from taking the starting job over DeMarco Murray.
I was saying that all last year. I don't think I had him. I think I was trying to trade for him. I might have picked him up at one point, but I was just waiting, and they just refused to play Derrick Henry, so I'm kind of half expecting that. I would not be surprised if he has 5 to 7 carries this week.
He's had a couple he had 20 points last week, so he's had a couple of really, really solid weeks. But with DeMarco Murray's not running well, he's half injured, so that's why Derrick Henry did so well last week. So I'm just waiting for them to give the rock to Derrick Henry full time. I think they have a lot of money in DeMarco, so I don't know if they'll fully commit to him as far as 25 carries a game. But if he gets 10 to 15 a game, like that's good enough to start like to play in the flex. Like I can start. I can
definitely
start Kareem Hunt, and I have Buck Allen. So between Kareem Hunt, Buck Allen, Alvin Kamara, and Derrick Henry, I can throw 2 starters in a flex together and just start my star 2 wide receivers. Yeah. You know, Ertz, the Lions defense, and the best kicker in the history of the world, Ryan Suckup. And then you know Tom Brady's my quarterback. I'm feeling pretty confident for the rest of the season. I grabbed Dion Lewis because Gillislee's not doing shit. Oscar's boy Mike Gillislee not doing shit. Again, Oscar sucks.
Oscar does suck. I think that should be the takeaway from this.
Yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good. I feel pretty good about this season. I think I'm a lock for the playoffs. And I'm coming for that spot, man.
I think so too. I'm a little nervous because I do remember checking the schedule to see if I played you just to make sure, and I don't. So I felt happy about that. I just need you to keep losing, so I pad my wins. But I do have the most points in the league, so I feel like I'm kind of now that we confirmed that first place in East Division makes playoffs, and then total points scored afterwards. So
right. So it's like if I catch you in record, if we have the same record going into the playoffs. And you maintain more points for because you're ahead of me in points for by like 50 or 60. So you have a pretty safe cushion there. You'll be the number 1 seed. I'll be the number 2 seed. But 3 and 4 will be no joke because it'll be like Oscar and there's like 7 3-3 teams that can make it in. So a lot of things can happen.
Yeah, I really think it's anybody's game. So I even think maybe Nishad or Tish can make a comeback as long as those 3-3 teams keep losing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think Tish has a bad team so much. I mean, injuries have been really killing everybody. You were the first one starting on the injury bug.
Yeah,
but now
DJ, that was rough. Imagine if I still had DJ, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, there would be no hope for the rest of us. We'd all be fighting for second.
Yeah, I'd have David Johnson and Kareem Hunt. Like they'd be number 1 and 2 probably. Yeah. And then Antonio. God,
I will say this. I felt sniped from Kareem Hunt. I was going after him in the 5th, and I believe you took him either in the 5th before me or late in the 4th.
I took him in the 4th. Yeah, so it's like
so you sniped him, and then you sniped Alvin Kamara. I didn't even know anybody knew his name. I was like, okay, he's easy for me in the 14th.
He was like my 13th to 14th round pick.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm very happy I did that. But it's like the thing is like every time I try to make trades, everyone's talking about keeper values. And it's like my keepers are already set. It's David Johnson, and it's going to be Kareem Hunt. Even Kareem Hunt in the 3rd is going to be a keeper because he's going to be like a top 3 overall pick next year already. And so is David Johnson. So like those are both my keepers already. So it's like Alvin Kamara in the 14th or 13th, that's not going to be a keeper for me. Derrick Henry in like the 6th, I think, won't be a keeper for me. So it's like I have a lot of keeper value. I might make some late season keeper trades for people. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you do have the first trade in the league. We just talked about it. And I guess you feel like you bumped up your tight end position and you feel like you gave Qasim some depth, I guess, is what you were getting.
Yeah, that's kind of what he was going for. He needed some running back and a better wide receiver.
Qasim's still in it. He's not
3-3, I think.
3-3 he's in the East Division. So it's anybody's game over there, really.
Oh, that's the other one. Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like I won the trade because I don't feel like I gave up too much. I was never going to start Isaiah Crowell or Jermaine Kearse unless it was a bye week. So instead of Jermaine Kearse, I start Pierre Garçon in a bye week. So that's like the same difference to me. It made no difference to give up Jermaine Kearse for that. But I bump up to Zach Ertz. And if Zach Ertz can stay healthy, that's the thing. Zach Ertz does have an injury history. I know he's Kit's boy, so Kit, don't fuck me over on this, dude. I went for Zach Ertz. I think that's a good upgrade for me at the tight end position. So I think it was worth it. I think I won that trade, but I think it's worth it for both of us. And, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out.
Well, I think that's a good note to end on, man. So I appreciate you being the side commish while I was acting commish in this interview.
Well, thank you for taking over the video for the week, man. I really appreciate it. I had no time to work on it this week, so.
Not a problem. Thanks for hopping in because my system is ratchet as fuck, so hopefully this will work. But I guess good luck this week, and I'll see you in the playoffs.
All right, I'll see you then, buddy. Peace out.
Later, man. All right. Looks like week 6 is in the books. Good luck to everybody in week 7. And I guess that's all that's left to say is wasn't even plugged in.